Welcome back. We now have multiple stages to choose from. We also have our love interest at the bottom now, and she'll be there for the rest of the game. You touch her hair. She doesn't really like it though. You could touch the legs, and that seems kind of uncomfortable, as well as the hand, which is irritating. And that's it. I don't know why you would want to touch anything else. So let's get started with our first game. Parachute is a very fun game for brain exercise. It requires reflex and precision. Basically, there are men being dropped into the sky, and we need to save the men by pushing numbers. As the levels go on, the men fall faster, and the numbers will get bigger. Everything in this game is done by touchscreen. There is no use of the D-pad or face buttons. And sometimes, well, that could lead in a little bit of screw-ups. This game doesn't have much room for error. This minigame in particular, I mean. There is a cancel button, but usually, as soon as you realize you make a mistake, it's usually too late to fix it.
Break time.
As you can see, unlike Goldfish, this minigame has 5 levels. Goldfish is actually the only minigame that only has 3 levels. Most of the other ones will have 5 levels with a nice break time in the middle. It's pretty appropriate. Anyway, as you can see, these numbers are getting a little bit bigger. And what you don't see is that each minigame actually has 10 levels. But the last 5 levels, you can play them in hard mode. Now this looks very difficult. It's a very big number, but it's the only number you gotta press, so it's okay. And this is our main objective for each chapter. We need to fill up our girl's heart up with pink. Once the pink is full, you can progress through the story. Different minigames give different pink amounts, but we'll be playing through each minigame anyway for completion's sake. There are 2 ways in which you can fight the interdimensional candles. One is by rubbing men up, which is kind of not that good. It's a little bit disoriented. For one thing, it's kind of awkward to do, just in general. Sometimes you can't swipe correctly and they don't even blow anything out. And sometimes you can miss your blowing, which is very detrimental. Because after a man blows 3 times, he gets very exhausted and needs rest, because blowing is very energy inefficient. Luckily, you can also blow into the DS screen, which makes all the men blow at the same time. I think this is much easier.
Break time.
Generally, this minigame is about timing. You don't want to blow too quickly, but at the same time, you don't want to hesitate, otherwise bad things happen. I have to say, I like how the music starts slowly but gets quicker as the candles get closer. It's very tense, and I don't think the game ever really does anything like it ever again. The background's a nice touch too. I don't know why bats are in league with the candles, but I think it just goes to show that you can never trust a bat. Could be Dracula. That's probably the better answer. As you can see, this gave us much more pink, so you could just play Candle over and over again until you proceed, but that's no fun. I don't know why people always enjoy going downhill on carts. I've tried it once, and it was very scary, and it hurt a lot, because there's really no way to stop a cart. And you would think that if you're going downhill on a cart, you would see what was on the other side of the hill. I would think noticing spike balls would be kind of important. It's kind of hard to miss, but regardless, you need to save these doofuses from getting killed by spiky balls.
Break time.
Getting rid of the balls is really easy. You just gotta swipe this screen up and down. Of course, as the levels get harder, you need to manage them. And sometimes you'll have more than one card at once, and you need to arrange the spike balls in a way that no one ever really gets hurt. In later stages too, the carts go by much faster, since some carts will have 2 people in them, and that's already ridiculous enough by itself, but then they'll be going really fast, and there will be more than one on the screen at the same time, and there are usually a lot more spiked balls to think about. It's very stressful. Luckily in normal mode this is the only time more than one card appears, but in later levels, excuse me, they go by pretty quickly. Anyway, that's it. The girl's heart is filled with pink. We will now see the result of this.